Hi, everybody, and good morning, and thank you for coming along this morning. My name is Liz Saws. I'm actually the Director of Sales for Viking Cruises here in Australia and also for New Zealand. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to introduce you to our beautiful Viking ocean ships. We've got 4 particular itineraries that touch on into Canada, but we actually also now, with our ocean cruising, we're going to over 100 different countries and 284 ports. But as I said, today's focus is where we're actually touching on into Canada. To give you a little bit of background about Viking, I've been working for the company for about 7.5 years now. We started out as a river cruising company, and then back in 2015, we actually launched our first ocean ship, which was Viking Star. So to go on a waterborne journey, which is to go a Viking, is actually to go on a waterborne journey, whether by river or by sea. So we actually thought that that was really apt for our company, and particularly how progressive Torsten Hagen, who's our chair and CEO. Now, the little bit of history is going to give you an idea about where the company has started, where it's going, and what our future is as well. So we, as I said, we actually celebrated our 21st birthday this year in August. Started out in river cruising by purchasing 4 ships over in Russia, progressed over into Europe, have become the largest and the most leading river cruising company over in Europe. And then we also do cruises over into China, Southeast Asia, into Egypt as well when it comes to rivers. So we have a huge guest following on board our river ships. As I said, with over 21 years' worth of experience doing that, we were getting a lot of our guests turning around and asking us they wanted to do a Viking experiences, but they actually wanted to do it out on the oceans, and that's why we actually started out down to the oceans. So today, as I said, I'm going to go and give you a bit of a view of the ships, because the ships are actually unique. They're very much being purposely built for our river cruise guests. So there's a lot of very big positives about going ocean cruising with Viking, and there's a lot of things that we aren't for everybody, and we quite clearly state that. So we're not everything for everybody. It's a mantra for us. We like to make sure that the guests that are actually on our Viking Oceans are really there destinationally focused, so that they want to learn about the places that we cruise through to, such as into Canada. So we'll cover the Canada itineraries as well. The ones that we go through and touch on there. Some of the shore excursions and the pre and posts. I'll walk you through those so that you can actually look at the brochure as well. And then there's also access through our website, and we also have a trade portal that I'll touch on how you can get further information. So I thought at least if you know that where to get the information, so when it comes up to, it'll be there for you as well. And we've got a lot of support for trade as well. We're very much pro supporting our client or our guests and on board the ship through our travel colleagues. So as I said, we christened our first ship in 2015. Within 18 months, we took out the Best Ocean Cruise Award with the Travel and Leisure Award, and since then we've been picking up awards every year. So as you can see, Burlett's, Cruise Critic, Travel and Leisure, and there's a reason behind that. And as I said, we're purposely built for our river cruise guests. So when saying purposely built, they're all new build ships. The first was christened in 2015, as I said. The feedback we were getting from our river cruise guests was that they were saying that the ocean cruises that before Viking had become very, very large, and they were saying that the ocean cruises had started being the ship had started to become the destination and not the places that they were travelling to. They said that they were always, the small ships that they were out there had become expensive, and the other bit of feedback we had was that they felt that every time they went out on an ocean cruise that they were having to put their hand in their pocket to pay for all the extras, which was not a part of the Viking philosophy. So when I said we're not everything for everybody, we are very appealing to those guests who like small ship cruising, destinational focused and inclusive and good value. So our ships are only 930 guests on board. So as I said, they range what they call our small to medium size. They sit at 48,000 tonnes, so that gives us great manoeuvrability, means we hug the coastlines, and we're small enough to actually even cruise up some of the rivers as well. If they were going into London, we dock at Greenwich. There you are, Charlie. But yeah, as I said, we're very as much the destination, small boutique style ocean ships. Very Scandinavian look and feel as well. So we've designed the ships to have a feel of a lot of space. So we use a lot of light-coloured woods, a lot of glass, a lot of beautiful textures as well. We call it Nordic niche. It's very, very Scandinavian look and feel. So that's very much a trend look for us as well. So as I said, not everything for everybody. We take 930 guests, but we don't have children on board our ship. So whether it's rivers or oceans, actually, no kids under the age of 18 are on board. We're very strict about that. So please don't ask our call centre guys if you call through that they've got a 16 or a 17-year-old. We definitely don't take kids on board, and we need to keep that philosophy. So no kids, no casinos on board. No photographers on board the ship, so your guests won't be stalked by photographers as they're trying to get to whether to the restaurants or to any of the relaxation areas. So no photographers, no art auctions on board the ship. So there's a lot of things that we aren't. So no, as I said, but the main one is no kids, no casinos, no photographers, no art auctions. And we call it no nickel and diming, so no reason for them to have to put their hand in their pocket to pay for any extras. And there's no surcharging for any of the specialty dining restaurants on board the ships as well. So we're very inclusive in value. It's a bit, as I said, like our rivers. We like to keep that same feel. So there is a shore excursion included in every port of call that we go to. All the meals on board the ship are included, so that there's over 8 dining options on board the ship as well. So they can multiple dining options, and there's no surcharge if they take the option to eat at any of our private dining rooms or our specialty dining rooms. There's unlimited Wi-Fi, so there's no cap on that one as well. So that's right throughout the ship as well. We have lectures and entertainment on board the ship. It's all complimentary. 24-hour room service is complimentary. We include beer, wine, and soft drink at lunch and dinner. That's all complimentary as well. And then we have one of the best drinks packages on any ocean cruise that I've been on. So it's only $20 per person per day for making that unlimited beverages at any of the bars. So the only term and condition we have on the drinks package is that the price of one drink can't exceed the $15. But majority of our drinks are under that. A cocktail ranges between $7 to $10. So it's well and truly covered by our drinks package. So it's pretty much unlimited beverages for $20 per person per day. Now, they can book that once they're on board on the first day they're actually on board the ship, but we do, or they can book it through their My Viking Journey. But we do encourage you to book this for your clients because it is commissionable. We have no non-commissionable funds, so every part of the ship, every part of the cruise component is commissionable. So do take that into example as well. So yes, so beer, wine, and soft drink is included. Lunch and dinner, Wi-Fi is included. 24-hour room service. We have a self-service laundrette, which has got fully serviced there, and that's all complimentary. All port charges and taxes and fees are included as well. So, as I said, inclusive value, very good value, and very destination focused. So with our shore excursions, what we do is we have one included in every port of call that we go to, and it's a good comprehensive shore excursion. And I'll cover one of the ones that we actually do over in Canada. Now, we also have a range of optional shore excursions as well that they do pay for, so that they can more tailor-make it to their specific idea for what they're actually wanting to cruise. Now, with our shore excursions, we actually also break it up into categories. We break it up into living life, working world, and privileged access. So we like to take our guests into the homes of the people. We take them into the working environments. And then the privileged access experience is where we give them an opportunity to experience something that they may not be able to do if they were traveling independently. And that privileged access, we do have those on each of the cruises as well. And I'll show you how, again, I'll show you a little bit later on how you can actually identify what's a working world, a living life, or a privileged access experience. And these can be booked by the clients or your clients actually on board our My Viking Journey website as well. To complement that, we actually have our lecturers on board the ship as well. So residential lectures, so they actually stay on board the ship. They're always destinational focused. So they'll be doing talks. It might be on the fjord areas. It might be on the polar bears. It could be, if it's over in Canada, it could be an explorer. It could be an historian. It could be a Viking talking about Leif Erikson, who was one of the first Vikings to head across over to Canada. So they'll be on board the ship always talking about the destinations. And not only do they do the lectures in the theatre, but they're available to talk to personally one-on-one time whilst they're actually on board the ship. So it's a really interactive experience for your guests on board. And also said it's very much about the destination that the guests are going to, so we want to make sure that we really enhance their experience. Now, as I said, the ship is beautiful, very Scandinavian look and feel. For those who may have logged on earlier, you would have heard I mentioned to Charlie that we have got 2 ships coming out at the end of the year and early next year, Viking Sun and Viking Orion. So please get in contact with your regional sales manager and to make sure that you can come on board. So we'd love to be able to show you around the ship. So this is our atrium and living area. One of the things you will also notice here, there is no check-in desks. So we actually do the check-in process off ship. So your clients will actually get their room key. They'll do all that process before they even get on board the ship, so they're able to go through the security and go straight to their room, and their luggage will already be there for them. So it stops the queuing or that commercial aspect in this beautiful foyer, atrium, living area. We do entertainment here in the evenings, so at about 6 o'clock there's either a pianist on here, there will be other singers, cellists, etc. It's a beautiful place to sort of relax, just pre-dinner drinks as well. We have an Explorer Lounge. This is actually one of my favorite areas of the ship. It's at the front of the ship, 2 levels, floor-to-ceiling glass, perfect place for sail away as well, and it's absolutely stunning. And it's always nautically themed up here in the Explorer's Lounge, so it's a lovely place to relax. We have another relaxation area called the Winter Garden. It's at the centre ship on Deck 7. You can see the image on the left-hand side of your screen. That is to represent a Nordic forest. So we call it the Winter Garden. And at 4 o'clock every afternoon, we do an afternoon tea here. Very, very popular. You'll notice I don't call it a high tea because there's no formalities on their ship, so no captain dinners, no formal nights. And here in the Winter Garden, we do afternoon tea, not high tea. Now, afternoon tea, it's teas, sandwiches, and macarons and little scones, etc. So, and there's about a selection of about 30, 35 different teas that they can experience here. Very, very popular place at 4 o'clock. There's 8 dining options on board the ship, as I said, including the 24 hours room service. The World Cafe, again located on Deck 7, is actually our most casual of the dining experiences. It's open from 6:30 in the morning, so it's open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then that goes out to our Aquavit Terrace where our infinity pool is as well. So it's the most casual. It's not a buffet experience as such. It's an open kitchen area. They can see the food on display, but the chefs will actually make, so if they want a Caesar salad, they'll actually make the Caesar salad and hand it to them. So it's a lovely sort of casual dining experience. Manson's is our cafe that is located up at the Explorer Lounge. Here it's a nice casual, sort of again, casual cafe. Manson's means mum, and it's actually dedicated to Torsten, our CEO's mother. So it's Norwegian recipes here, so it's the perfect place to pick up, whether it's the open sandwiches, beautiful cakes. She makes also fantastic Norwegian waffles here at Manson's. Our main restaurant is open again for breakfast and for dinner. If we have a sea day, it is open for lunch as well. As I mentioned, beer, wine and soft drink is included at lunch and dinner. If your clients do decide to take the Silver Spirits package, it does give them a wider range of choice of wines as well, so they can switch out if they want to change the different wines. If they wanted to take it, a rosé, etc., they can certainly change across if they take the Silver Spirits. If they could do the included wine, it'll be the house wine, which is a very high standard as well. The 2 specialty restaurants that we have on board are the Chef's Table, and then we have Manfredi's. So the Chef's Table is a degustation restaurant. So and off the side of that, we have a private dining room as well, which is the image on the left-hand side. It's very, very popular here at the Chef's Table. So the degustation, 5 courses, it's regionally focused. as well. And they change the menu about every 3 to 4 days, so it's always constantly changing. And the reason it's the only restaurant we have set dining times due to the fact that the chefs specifically prepare the meal. The waiters will come out and pair it with the wines, and they'll talk about the meal that's being served. You could have anything as interesting as Nordic fusion. It could have a Canadian influence. It's always, as I said, regionally inspired as well. And then we have our Italian restaurant on board the ship called Manfredi's, obviously Italian-inspired. Pastas as well as steaks are served here. And again, another private dining room, which will only take 12. Now, the private dining rooms, again, they're complimentary for all our guests on board. They just need to make a reservation. Now, the kitchen table isn't actually one of the restaurants on board the ship. The reason I put it here is it's an experience. So it's one of our optional experiences that they can do. And here they'll go out with the chefs to the markets, handpick the produce, come on board the ship, prepare the meal, and dine here at the kitchen table. So the price here ranges depending on how long the experience is. So it can be anything from sort of around about $100 up, depending on how long and what they're actually preparing for the day. But it's a great experience called the kitchen table. Now, we have 3 pools on board. At the rear of the ship on Deck 7 is our Aquavit Terrace, and that has our infinity pool. So we're one of the few that have an infinity pool out on the oceans. It's an amazing place, swimming out into the destination. But if they're not wanting to do that, we have a main pool with a retractable roof. And here, so this pool is also heated as well. And then in the evenings here, we'll actually do entertainment such as movies under the stars. There's often dance parties, barbecues out here. It's serviced by a pool bar and a pool grill as well out here at the on the main pool. And then the spa on board the ship, it's called Live Nordica. So the spa facilities are, again, complimentary for our guests to use. So we have a hydrotherapy pool, ice plunge pools, saunas, spas, relaxation areas. All of that is complimentary for our guests. If they do decide to have a massage, a manicure, and pedicure, a haircut, etc., that is actually at a charge, but the actual use of the facilities is complimentary. And then, of course, we're well known for our snow grotto as well, because being Scandinavian, it's all about fire, water, and ice. So we encourage our guests to do the ice plunge pools, and then go into the ice plunge pools or our snow grotto, and then go into the warm rooms, either the steam room or the sauna. And they do this a number of times, and it's very invigorating for them. Very, very popular as well. Theatre on board, as I said, we're destination focused. So we average in port of calls about 12.1 hours. And then we do the lectures here in the theatre to complement that, to learn about the destination. And then we also have shows on board the ship. So there's a lot of entertainment, all complimentary for our guests. Staterooms. Now, we are all veranda. There are no inside staterooms on board any of the Viking Ocean ships. There's 5 different categories that they can choose from. I'm not going to go through each of the categories because they can be located on the brochure as well as actually on the website as well. But I just wanted to show you a deluxe veranda. So the veranda and the deluxe veranda are 270 square feet. You can see we use the lovely Scandinavian colours, the black blues, light-coloured woods. As I said, all veranda. Plenty of storage here in the rooms. So there's heated floors in the bathrooms. There's glass and showers, very large showers to walk-in showers as well. So there are beautiful facilities in the room. As I said, 5 different category staterooms. Now, one of the things with the stateroom categories is the higher the stateroom category cabin, the more inclusions that your clients will actually get. So if they book a veranda stateroom, what that means is that once they're on board the ship, they can actually start booking all their shore excursions, etc., and or any of the reservations that they want to do for their restaurants. So, shore excursions for a veranda can be booked from 60 days out, but all the reservations for the restaurants can be booked once they're on board the ship. If they upgrade to a deluxe veranda, what we'll actually do here, we'll have a mini bar that's now stocked with snacks and soft drinks, but they'll get priority access to their room, and they'll actually be able to get a reservation, one guaranteed reservation at the chef's table and one guaranteed reservation at Manfredi's, and they can book that from 60 days from cruise departure date. Now, they go onto My Viking Journey to be able to do that as well. And then at 67 days out from cruise date, they can book their shore excursions and their optionals as well. One of the things with the shore excursions, as I said, there's a shore excursion included in every port of call, but we do encourage them to go onto their My Viking journey at 67 days to book the times of those shore excursions. And then we actually have penthouse veranda ones where they can actually start. Now we've got access to their reservations. They get 2 guaranteed reservations at Chef's Table, 2 at Manfredi's. They can book them from 70 days from cruise date, book their shore excursions from 77 days. Now all this information can be found on page 204 of the brochure, or it can be found, and all inclusions, etc., or it can be found on our website, which is vikingcruises.com.au. So I won't go through it all, but today, but I just wanted to make sure that you're aware. Now there's 14 Explorer suites as well, extra large suites, beautifully appointed. Again, more inclusions, and again, you can find that information on the website. So to go through some of the itineraries, as I mentioned before, we're now going to 284 ports and 100 different countries. So we've broken it up. So we're obviously Scandinavia, the Northern Europe area. We've got 6 ships. We're actually going to be christening our 6th ship next year as well. So we christened Viking Star in 2015. We've got Viking Sea, Viking Sky, Viking Sea, Sky Star, Orion, Jupiter coming on board as well. So there'll be 6 ships. So plenty of different opportunities for your clients. So going across into Canada, our first trip is what we call In the Wake of the Vikings. So it's a 15-day cruise. We're actually relocating the ship across from our Baltic cruise across through to Montreal. So 15 days. It's lovely. It actually traces the route of our Viking explorer, Leif Erikson, who discovered the Americas over 500 years before Columbus. So it's a really great itinerary, touching on Iceland to Greenland. Departing date is actually on the 12th of September 2019. And as I said, it'll actually now go, as I said, cruise across to Greenland, touching into Newfoundland, and then up to St. Lawrence, finishing up into Montreal. So a lovely itinerary. When they're actually on board, once we get to places such as Quebec, Montreal, etc., we actually have, as I said, a sightseeing trip included. So historic Quebec City is our sightseeing trip is actually included. It's a 2-hour trip that explores the cultural and historic side of the city. So it's a really lovely overview of the place. And then what we'll do is we also, as I said, offer the optionals as well. So in this particular case, it's a kitchen table experience where they can do their cooking class. I mentioned earlier that they'll get to go out and to go to the local market with the chef. They'll go and prepare the meal at the kitchen table and dine on it in the evening as well. So as I said, they arrange walking tours, coach tours, and we even have helicopter tours as well. Then we have our next cruise that we do. So once we've arrived into Montreal, we then will actually go and do a 13-day cruise, which is going to be Montreal to New York City. So this particular cruise is going to be departing on the 26th of September. There's 7 guided tours on this particular cruise. And again, it's a lovely cruise itinerary going up the St. Lawrence. It's perfectly timed. We'll get the 4 colors as well. So on the embarkation day, embarkation is the 26th of September. We'll overnight in port. So we'll giving your clients a 2-day experience in Montreal. Again, we've included a sightseeing trip and optionals as well. And then we'll go, as I said, we'll sort of cruise out through that area, going through across to Nova Scotia and then down to New York. So lovely cruise itinerary there. Now, the Montreal shore excursions, Montreal Highlights is our one that we include this particular time. So the timings for the shore excursions can range from 2 or 3 hours right through to being a full day. So depending on what particular one that they want to do. And as I mentioned before, our average time in port is 12.1 hours. So there's plenty of time for your clients to actually get out there and explore. And as I said, they've got the backup of our experienced tour guides, local guides, and then we've got the lecturers on board the ships as well. When you go onto the website, if you click on one of these cruise itineraries, as I said, the website is extremely easy to navigate. You don't need logins for it at all. All you need to do is just do vikingcruises.com.au, click on Oceans, click on the cruise itinerary that you're wanting to. So in this particular cruise, I've clicked on the Eastern Seaboard one. And so what we've actually done, when you click on the day of the cruise in the itinerary page, it'll actually come up and show you those shore excursions that they can. If you're wanting further information, just click on the actual shore excursion and it will come up just as what this information here. So I've just clicked on one as an example, Sugar Shack and Diner Discovery. You can see quite clearly it's a 4.5-hour itinerary, a cruise, 4.5-hour excursion. It's going to be an active excursion, so we do grade them to easy, moderate to active, so that you've got clients who've got a very clear understanding beforehand. A meal will be included in this one, so there will be obviously, being a Sugar Shack Diner Discovery, so they're going to be sampling some foods, etc. Shopping's going to be available. They're doing some sightseeing, and it's a working world experience here. So you'll see that on the right-hand side. As I mentioned before, we break it up into living life, working world, or privileged access. So, and we grade this as moderate. So for our clients, which our demographic is 50 or 55 and above, that's exactly where they can find this information as to what to expect when they go out on the shore excursions. Now, not only do we do the shore excursions included as well as the optionals, we also have pre- and post opportunities for them as well. So on this particular cruise itinerary, you can actually find that at the bottom. You can click on this information and it'll actually tell you exactly what's actually included here as well. So here they've got a choice. They can do a pre-night in Montreal for 2 nights, post in New York for 2 nights, or they can do a Toronto-Ottawa 5-night extension. Again, very easy for you to navigate through. Alaska and the Inside Passage, the reason I've actually included this one is because we do start and finish in Vancouver. So it's an 11-day cruise from Vancouver through to Seward. It's a very beautiful, comprehensive itinerary up through the Alaskan Inside Passage. And we're going to be spending in 2019, 2020, we're cruising here backward and vice versa between May through to August. So great itinerary to include as an extension. We actually have quite a number of options for you as well. We've got pre and post in the Rockies. They can either do a coach tour, they can do the Rocky Mountain Air, they can just do 2 nights in Vancouver if they're wanting to, and then we also have the extensions up in Alaska as well, 2 nights in Anchorage, or they can do the Denali Explorer, Anchorage and Talkeetna as well, which is a 5-day option. So if you clicked on these are again found at the bottom of the itinerary page. Click on those, they give you the full itinerary of what you expect. So it actually looks like this. This is the Extend Your Cruise with the 7 nights in the Canadian Rockies. We use the beautiful Fairmont properties over there as well. It tells you clearly what they're to expect. So it's 10 meals, 7 breakfasts, 3 dinners, guided tours of Banff National Parks, the glacier out on the snow coach, Jasper National Park, Mount Robinson and Vancouver City tour. They'll always be there with a Viking tour director as well, and all their transfers are included. So pricing, again, is very clearly stated onto the website. So very easy for you to make those reservations as well. And the last itinerary I wanted to touch on is our North Pacific Passage cruise. Now, this is a 23-day cruise that will go from Vancouver through to Tokyo. It leaves either in May or in August. And now, just as a bit of an example, it is extremely popular here in Australia. And we have a May 2019 departure, which is actually going from Tokyo across to Vancouver. On that particular one, as I said before, our ship only takes 930 guests. Of that, over 550 of them are going to be Australians or Kiwis that have actually made that reservation onto that cruise. So being extremely popular, we now have an August departure returning, and then we'll be doing that into 2020 as well. So do keep that in mind. And again, as I said, you can do those extensions from Vancouver up into the Rockies on this cruise itinerary. Currently, at the moment, we have a campaign available. It's called The World of Viking. So it will be running through to the 30th of November. The discounts vary depending on which of the cruise itineraries. And again, it's clearly displayed on the website, which is vikingcruises.com.au, or otherwise call through to our reservations department. There's no wait times for when you call through to them. I mentioned again earlier that we are the only cruise company that has what we call no NCFs. In other words, you're going to earn commission on every aspect of your client's booking. That's the cruise fare, if you do air with it as well, port charges, taxes and fees. I mean, I can't believe that a cruise company will actually, we pay out the port charges, taxes and fees, but we'll also pay out commission on that value to you as well. Even on the gratuities, the pre and post extensions. As I said, if you book the Silver Spirits package at time of making the reservation, we'll pay commission on that as well. So it's a really good earner for you to support Viking. And as I said, we're very trade orientated. We really respect working with yourselves, our trade partners. Our call centre is a great team. Just ring through to 131747. Small team, low wait times, but very, very knowledgeable and know their destinations and their ships extremely well. So as I said, just call 131747 to get through to them. Once you've made your reservation, you do need to complete, your client needs to complete their guest information form. It's extremely important that they do that. So please encourage them to go onto the My Viking Journey, complete that at the time of booking, because this is where we have all the information that we can get for to make sure that they have a streamless cruise. It's also once they're on board the ship and also before they get on board the ship, it's a wealth of information when they go onto their My Viking Journey site to learn about the trip and the experience that they're about to have. To do a cruise only, the deposit's only $500 per person. It is non-refundable, but it means that they can guarantee the cabin stateroom that they want on the cruise that they want. We're booking now into 2019 and 2020 as well. So make sure that they do make an early booking because it's extremely popular. Payments can be made by credit card EFT. Documents are issued about 3 weeks beforehand, but we also back the documents up with what we call e-docs. And now these are automatically generated. They go through to yourselves and then generated from 14 days from cruise date. It's like a soft copy, so we encourage you to send that through to your clients as well, just in case if they ever lose their docs, etc., they've got a soft copy as well. Now, I keep talking about the My Viking Journey. So once your clients make the reservation, they'll be given a booking. Once you make the reservation with your clients, you'll be given a booking number. Encourage them to log on to their My Viking Journey. Now, please don't log under your agency details because that will block them. They need to do it themselves because once they do that, they can then start looking at their shore excursions. They can make their reservations at their restaurants. They can manage their daily schedule, and they can do that pre-cruise as well as once they're on the cruise as well, such as things like booking spa appointments as well. So we want them to be able to access all this information. So it is really important that you encourage them. And it's, as I said, it's a very easy site to navigate. Now, for yourselves, we have an agent portal. This has been established earlier this year. So what we'll need you to do is once you've been accredited with Viking or registered with Viking, you'll be given a registration number. You can take this registration and your email address, enter it in, just go into myvikingjourney.com. Then you'll see where at the bottom of the page is a travel agent portal link. Just click onto that, register in there, and then you'll actually be able to access all this information that you can have. So you'll be able to customize flyers, have social media tiles, itinerary flyers, get copies of online brochures, images, press releases, access to webinars, etc. So much information on this trade portal to assist you as well. We have a great regional sales team as well. So Leon's based up in Queensland, Kim is SA TAS, and then we have Alistair, who's our commercial manager for New South Wales, ACT, and WA. So please call them. They're there to support you, and they're a great team and very keen to establish you to help you understand all about Viking and keep you up to date with any of the new offers that we have out there. Now, to back them as well, we actually also have an inside sales manager who's Kira Smith. We have a trade marketing manager, so she's dedicated. It's Erin Kramer, who's actually dedicated just to assist you to get the Viking name out there, to help you make some reservations, etc. And then we've also got Dom, who's our digital and social media manager. So if you're wanting to have any assistance with Facebook or any social media, Dom's there as well to be able to assist you. So just call through to Kira or call your regional sales manager, and they'll be able to, or Erin as well for your marketing. They'll be able to help you as well. They're just based here in the Sydney office. Trade collateral, we book through, collateral is collected through TIFF, so you can just order through there. There's the ocean brochures, rivers brochures. We also have posters available, and then we've just also developed agent guides, not only for our oceans, but also for river cruises. You can order that through TIFF as well. It gives you an insight into our company and what's available and offer for the ships information that you can't find in a brochure. So please make sure you don't give that out to your clients as well. So thank you so much. I hope you learn a little bit about Viking, and we're very excited to be going to Canada as well. As I said, with the expansion of the ship up to the company, or the ocean company, up to 6 ships by next year, 284 ports, 100 countries. But we're very excited to be going through to Canada. And has anybody? I'll hand it back over to Charlie, and then hopefully some people have got some questions, and you've got some information that, and we'll hear from you calling through to make bookings for Viking.
Liz, thank you so much. Such a fantastic presentation. It's always exciting for us to have a new product that we haven't had before, and very exciting as well. It's great to have some Eastern Canada info, and of course with the popular Western itineraries with combining with the Rockies and things. So a little bit of everything there, and what a fantastic product. So all very exciting. So the floor's open for questions. We'll see if nothing's come through just yet. All ladies except for Neville. Hi, Neville. Any questions out there, just type them into the chat box. So Liz, what would be sort of a recommended lead time then for making a booking?
Well, as I said, we're opening up to 2020 now, so I would be starting to book, and I guess our ships only take 930 guests. So I mentioned earlier, like the North Pacific Passage, we booked that out within about a couple of months. So new itineraries will be announced again in November. So we'll have another release of new dates, which will be going into 2020, 21. So I would just book as soon as you've got an idea your clients wanted to go to Canada, book ASAP. And just for $500, it's worth securing the stateroom that they're wanting. So 18 months out.
Sure thing. Thank you. No questions coming through. We'll sign off there. I know, nothing. You obviously you covered it all.
Yeah, there's a regional sales team out there. The call center's there as well. There's no wait time there. And then we've got Erin and Kira as well as Dom. So please make sure that they call through if they want to.
Yeah, sure. And we will have follow-up to this webinar as always as well. The recording will be available. I normally also make a PDF of the slides available, so we'll organise that as well, Liz, maybe with Erin. And so plenty of opportunity to get more information and to keep going. Okay, Neville has said, thank you, Liz. What dates in Sydney?
Oh, we're going to be out, that's 16th of December, I believe, for the actual arrival. So it's around mid-December, but we're going to be coming backwards and forwards because Viking Orion is actually going to be cruising between Sydney and Auckland between December through to February. So there'll be a number of dates available. But just email through to either myself. So my email, I should have put that on there, is liz.sawers, which is SAWERS, @vikingcruises.com. And we can get you the dates and make sure that Alistair, who's in New South Wales, will get the dates out to you.
Sounds good.
As I said, we're going backwards and forwards on Orion, and all the ships are sister ships. So whether it's Orion, Sea, Sky, Star, Sun, they're all identical.
Oh, that's awesome, and then heaps of opportunity then to take a look. Oh, exactly. Fantastic. Alrighty, thank you. We'll sign off there. Everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. Liz, thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks, Charlie.